The two favourites in SW19 were always likely to meet in the Final Four when the draw was made, and both players battled their way through the tournament to set up the heavily anticipated clash. Djokovic trails in the head-to-head with Sinner 6-5, but he came out on top in their last meeting at the Australian Open, where he dethroned the Italian to advance to the final. The Serb holds a winning record of 2-1 over the 24-year-old on grass, with all three matches coming at Wimbledon. While Sinner booked his place in the semifinals by beating Jan-Lennard Struff in straight sets, Djokovic had to come through the longest quarterfinal ever at the championships against Felix Auger-Aliassime to advance, with the match lasting 5 hours and 15 minutes. Previewing the semi-final, former British player Greg Rusedski suggested the 39-year-old's brutal meeting with the Canadian may have cost him the chance of hoisting a 25th major title. Greg Rusedski previews Novak Djokovic's match with Jannik Sinner. On his podcast, Off Court with Greg, Rusedski said, "The question mark is how is Novak Djokovic going to recover? Last time they played in Australia and he got a default from Musetti that gave him extra rest. Musetti was the one who was winning that match and that was the sort of bonus that Novak needed. He didn't need 5 hours, 15 minutes, the longest quarterfinal in history. While Sinner just cruised in straight sets, he's got the rest. So right now, the next 48 hours, how is he going to get his body ready? He's definitely not hitting any tennis balls whatsoever tomorrow. Tomorrow is just recovery, recovery, recovery. And if he can bounce back, the tennis is there. But I've got to give the advantage now to Jannik Sinner, just because of the physical match he's played." Sinner, on the other hand, his serve got him out of trouble. He served brilliantly today because the forehand wasn't firing, nor were the returns early on at times, especially on that side. Novak's team will do the homework. But for me, can he bounce back at 39 years young? If he does, he's got a shot. But I don't know if the body will allow him to perform in the manner that he wants to. I'm going Sinner right now. I'm putting myself on the line. I called Djokovic to really have his chance for 25. He's just used up too much energy. The tank cannot recover. Yes, Djokovic historically has been able to do so. But I think that'll be the problem. Sinner will make the points long. Djokovic can't go backhand to backhand. Yes, he's going to try to break down the forehand. Sinner's going to get that working. He's going to clean it up. He's going to be focused. He hasn't won a major this year. He hasn't been to the final of a major yet this year. And on top of that, with Novak, I just can't see it after this brutal match. Greg Rusedski praises Novak Djokovic after the quarterfinals. Discussing Djokovic's battle with Auger-Aliassime, Rusedski said, "It was like vintage Novak in that final set tiebreaker. Just absolutely brilliant. Going in lockdown mode. Backhand cross-court was phenomenal. The defense on the forehand multiple times. Just that will to say, I'm not going to lose this match. I'm going to find a way." The crowd was going crazy. It was brilliant. One respect, I am just so impressed with Novak Djokovic. The other respect, Auger-Aliassime, what a fight. What a moment. That's one of those matches for Auger-Aliassime that could have been career-defining and change his trajectory with the belief to win a major. But Novak Djokovic said, no, not happening today. And just said, I'm going to find a way. And thank goodness he has 2 days rest after playing the longest match. It's nearly 50 years since they've had a 39-year-old get into the semifinals with that sort of epic quarterfinals. Djokovic by the end locked in on that fifth set and refused to lose. Djokovic took a 2-1 lead in the head-to-head with Auger-Aliassime after beating him at Wimbledon.